The Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has been acquitted by the Code of Conduct Tribunal of the 18-count charge of false declaration of assets. The Honorable Tribunal Chairman of the two-man panel, Danladi Umar, ruled that the prosecution witnesses were manifestly unreliable and that no reasonable tribunal could safely convict on the evidence produced, that the prosecution did not prove the essential elements of the offense, and that the tribunal has nothing to do other than to discharge the defendant. The tribunal ruled that other fatal flaws included hearsay evidence by prosecution witnesses and the failure to have a statement from the defendant and the failure to link the defendant with the commission of the offense and the counts as charged.
We have a situation where the National Assembly is distracted, the Senate President is facing charges, the Deputy Senate President is facing charges, the clerk, happily that matter went off. And then you now have the Senate President who has to spend all his time preparing to fight for his own freedom. I do not think that a government like that can get the very best. And that is why we are glad that whatever it was that compelled this trial in the first place, we are happy that eventually the law was allowed to take its course and that the facts spoke for themselves.
We have already started making arrangements for the ruling, so once we get the ruling, well, it's not a judgment, it's a ruling. But if you like, you call it judgment, maybe because it has gone in depth and all that, so you can call it judgment, but it's a ruling. And we have already started making arrangements to get a copy of the ruling. As soon as it's out, then we'll study it and then we know what next to do.